What's going on, y'all? I had to run to the camera to turn this on because I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. It was just something I found so interesting. Once again, Deion Primetime Sanders has made, headlines. He's made news, especially within the HBCU circuit. And listen, y'all, I'm not picking on Deion when I make these videos. Deion just says a lot of he says a lot of interesting things and does a lot of interesting things that needs to be talked about or discussed that I feel need to be discussed. So, as of lately, Deion Sanders has suggested that the Colorado marching band incorporates HBCU flavor within their performance, right? So if you didn't know, during a meeting with members of the Colorado band hierarchy, Deion Sanders indicated that he wanted the band and the football team to be synonymous with each other, right? And he wanted the band and football team to be in sync the way they are at HBCUs. Specifically, Coach Prime is quoted as saying, at HBCUs, it's kind of traditional that the band kind of coincides. I know it's a difference, but it don't have to be. We like one big happy family. From Deion Sanders' statements, it is clear that Deion understands that HBCU culture is very powerful because it is, right? It's magnetic, it's alluring, it's captivating in a lot of different ways, and non-black people can tell you that when they go and experience the HBCU culture for themselves, when they take part in it. Y'all saw how Pat McAfee was just so excited to watch the battle of the bands and watch the bands go at each other and so on and so forth. And he saw the performances. He was in awe. So anybody can be captivated by that culture, right? However, Mr. Deion Sanders has got to recognize one thing, that the HBCU experience is one of a kind. The culture is unique. It cannot be duplicated or replicated. You can't make the Colorado marching band be what the Sonic Boom of the South is. You can't turn them into Jackson State 2.0. It's not going to happen. And some may say he's not trying to turn them into Jackson State. He's just trying to have the same type of flair and the same type of intensity. Brother, you can't do that. If you wanted that, you can't, listen, you can't take the Krabby Patty formula and take it to Burger King and expect the same outcome. It's made with a different type of love, care, and a different type of flavor. At the Krabby Patty, at the HBCU, it's made with a different type of flair. It is, and you can't fake it. You can't try to act like you can write all the ingredients down. It's not gonna come out the same way. PWIs have their own traditions, and HBCUs have their own. You can't appropriate the HBCU culture and bring it to Boulder, Colorado, especially when Prime highlighted. I remember when he was at Jackson State, he highlighted basically the reason why recruits would return to HBCUs is because of the culture. Now you trying to bring the culture to a place that's 1% black? Huh? Now with that, doing that would essentially undo what he said. What he said made the HBCU so unique. He said the HBCU culture is what makes it unique. So if you try to bring that culture to a predominantly white institution, that would undo exactly what you made, what he said made the HBCU so unique, man. That's not going to work anyway, though, because let's be real. I've attended both historically black college. I went and got my bachelor's degree from Mississippi Valley State University, the academic oasis of the Mississippi Delta. That's an HBCU. And then I went on to get my master's degree from Arkansas State, right? A predominantly white institution. At PWIs, they don't like incorporating too much hip hop. They don't really like doing it too much. They'll do it in bits and pieces. They'll do something that's universally loved, like the baby song. I needed some shit with some bop in it. That's really because it transcends across all different cultures and ethnicities. Is not really a specifically just in the hip hop lane. It could be transferred over to pop a little bit. They'll incorporate stuff like that, but they ain't playing no mystical like that. They ain't doing a whole lot of it. And if they do, it's only in small spurts and small little moments, not a lot, right? And one other thing, you're not gonna get them to change their fight song. You're not gonna get them to do that anyway. So You ain't really gonna be able to you're not gonna be able to pull that off successfully, even if you wanted to replicate it. Because once again, it's made with a different type of love, care, and flavor at home base. You can't, it's not transferable to the predominantly white institutions. And it's not a race thing. Again, it's a culture thing. It's a culture thing. You really can't teach Black American culture, right? You can't teach a certain, it can't, like, no, it's, I don't know, it's something that's embedded in you. It's something that oozes out of your pores. And Deion Sanders is somebody that should know that. You know what I mean? Because I can only imagine him talking to these people, like talking to the band, the band director and the band hierarchy, right? And they sitting in there, one band, one sound, band and football team are one. All right, we walk in sync. All right, Tim, you writing that down? We walk in sync. Write that down, Tim. And we are one. We're gonna make this a thing. And then when they get out of the meeting, I bet you he was, they come out that meeting looking at each other. Guys, what the fuck is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about here? What is he talking about here? What is this band in team, football team in sync shit? What is this? What the hell is Prime talking about? Like, bro, they ain't gonna, what? That's not gonna make sense to them, man. It's not gonna, because that's not normally what they do. The band plays, but it's not like, it's not incorporated. Like, for real, the band is not that important. It's really not as important as it is at HBCUs, at predominantly white institutions. People don't come to the football games to listen to the band at predominantly white institutions like that. At HBCUs, people come see the fifth quarter, man, come see the bands battle off at the end of the football games. You got people coming to that, they excited for the halftime show. They don't want to leave the bleachers. They don't want to leave the stands because they want to see how the bands are going to sound when they go off against each other, man. So you can't recreate the HBCU flair and flavor at a place where our people are a needle in the ocean. Fuck a needle in a haystack. Forget that. Forget a needle in a haystack. Excuse my language. Forget a needle in a haystack. Our people are a needle in the ocean, in Boulder, Colorado, to be specific. They ain't at Florida State. They ain't at University of Miami where you got some, I don't even know. Miami got a whole lot of Black students, but Florida State, they're not even in a place where it's where Black people are plentiful. we're 1% in Boulder, Colorado. You can't recreate that flavor at Boulder. If you wanted the HBCU flavor, Prime, you should have stayed within the HBCU ranks. If you're gonna leave Jackson State, you know, was you gonna go to Howard, Hampton, or something? I don't know. But if you wanted that flavor to still be there, it only is found within the HBCUs. People gonna get mad at that, but it is what it is. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know you can't find the Marching 100. Shout out to the Mean Green Marching Machine at Mississippi Valley State University, right? You can't, the Human Jukebox. I think that's Southern's band, right? The Human Jukebox. You can't replicate that, man. You can't come to HBC, you can't come to the HBCU and then try to take that culture back to predominantly white institutions. That's cultural appropriation as well. Next, he'll be trying to bring Chicken Wednesday and Fish Friday to predominantly white institutions. Boulder, Colorado will be trying to have Chicken Wednesday and Fish Friday. Then he'll be like, what? They're like, no, we don't do that here, man. No, man. Prime want to be at an HBCU, but not really. He want to be at the HBCU, but he don't really want to be there for real like that. You know what I'm saying? He just want the elements of the HBCU, but he don't want to be at the HBCU. You know, so you can't have it both ways, brother. You can't. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. Because he can try to recreate it all he wants to. It's not going to be the same thing. Again, it's shaped with a different type of love, care, and flavor. That sauce is only found within the HBCUs. It's only specific and it's only special and it's only it's like vibranium in a way, right? Even though we found out vibranium was in the ocean with another group of people, right? But the sauce is only special, especially made within the HBCU ranks. You can only whip that type of sauce up at the HBCU ranks. Why? The band director understands most of the time the band director is black 99.9% of the time. And everybody else is, so they understand the culture. They understand, how the people in certain, especially not predominantly white institutions, especially a lot of the HBCUs I found within the South, they understand the way people in the music and sports intertwine with each other. Not even just in the South, but within the black community in general. Whether it be West Coast, East Coast, up north, down south, the music and sports are intertwined with each other. So it's like brothers is out there playing in rhythm on the field. So it's a difference. There's a different understanding. Like, man, we got to be out here pumping these boys up. We got to be out there getting them amped up. We got to be out there motivating them with the music that we play. We got to create the soundtrack for their success. And at the HBCUs, they understand that, Prime. You can't. Ain't no way that's cultural appropriation, brother. You can't try to take that over there, incorporate that over there. Nah, man, it ain't gonna work. They not gonna let you do that anyway. Again, I done been at a predominantly white institution, and I done been at these little stroll offs and stuff like that. Certain songs they don't want you to play there, right? Certain times they don't put the clean version on. They don't want certain songs played. Certain stuff is too, some of that shit is too blackity, black now. Don't want too much of that. Some of that blaze is like, all right, it's too black up in here now. We can't do it like that now. It's a little too urban. Yeah, urban is another word for black. It's a little too urban around here now. Come on now, guys. Hey. I was with you for a second, but hey, buddy, hey, pal. Thought you was a good guy. Want to be a good guy? That's how they be. He's a good guy. Oh, man. That's how, boy, that's how they be, man. You can't, man. They like, man, I thought they gonna look at Prime and say, hey, man, thought you were a good guy. You can't be bringing this type of music around. We can't play this. We can't play this shit, man. So, it's only gonna work. It's only gonna go so far, man. I'm being silly, man, but y'all know that. Y'all know it ain't what they gonna be like. Nah, bruh. They ain't gonna really, especially trying to change the fight song and all that. Their crowd is used to hearing a specific thing. In all seriousness, their crowd is used to hearing and expecting a certain type of thing. They want a certain type. They're listening for a certain type of sound, and they have their traditions there. And you can't change theirs. You damn sure can't come to the HBCU and try to take that tradition somewhere else, where it's not even where our people aren't there. Our people aren't even there, and they aren't there to even benefit from that culture. So it's like, what? Nah, bro. It ain't gonna work like that. It's just not gonna work like that. They not there, and they not. You don't have anywhere. You don't have many people in those ranks to understand what you're trying to do. Because I guarantee you, the band was looking like, what is this? None of the football coaches before him has ever come and met with us. Why is he having these requirements on us? Why is he trying to make us do certain things? This is not right. This is not fair. I don't understand. I'm sure they don't understand what the hell his purpose is behind doing that. They probably left that meeting confused as hell. Like I said, they probably was saying, what the fuck is he carrying on about? What is he talking about, guys? Because they haven't. Nick Saban don't go to Bama band and tell them what to play. All right? That don't happen. It don't happen at Ohio State. I guarantee you it don't happen at Michigan. Harbaugh don't go to Michigan and tell a band what they need to be playing and try to make them connect with each other. And people will be like, he can start up something new. He can, but will they be embracive of it? And will a product come out the way he's expecting it to come out? You know what I mean? But better yet than that, I just have something against cultural appropriation too. Let that be our thing. Let it be specific to where we at. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I'm not saying that white American people or non-black people can't enjoy certain parts of the black culture. But what I'm saying is that don't bite the HBCU style, man. Don't do that, man. Let that be where it's at. Let our tradition stay our tradition. You know what I mean? You can still, be prime and sauce it up with your players and the play on the field and all of that. You can have your little music with you in the locker room and all of that. But nah, bro, because that is what makes our experience our experience unique for our people and for our kids to still gravitate to our institutions. And the reason why it's important to keep our traditions there is because that we need, like, if all the predominantly white institutions start trying to replicate HBCU tradition, right? That would be them doing exactly what they did when they took all the black players and try to put them within their conferences now. That would basically turn all of the revenue away from the black schools, that the revenue that we even get and the enrollment that we get, to try to convince them to come where they at and leave our schools assed out, right? These same schools that educated our heroes, our mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-grandmothers, aunts and uncles. These HBCUs that educated our people and got them in position to be productive members of society and also to service our people, right? Them schools that coached us up will be left out in the cold, while the predominantly white institutions keep getting richer, and all our kids will start trying to matriculate or try to leave the HBCUs and go to the predominantly white institutions, because now they can get that unique HBCU experience, or so they think they can get that, at the predominantly white institutions. And our enrollment will decrease further. Certain funds won't be at our schools no more, because everybody's going to be trying to go to the predominantly white institutions and that's close to them, because they feel like, oh, we can get it here now. Well, they think they can. You really can't replicate that sauce. But they could be like, oh, they start thinking we can get it at the predominantly white. We can get it at the predominantly white institutions now. So the kids will say, why should we go to the HBCUs? There's no incentive to go now. So that's why the HBCU culture needs to stay within the HBCU ranks and let the PWIs have their own culture and maintain that. Peace.